So, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So this we have back-to-back Torah portions, Zot HaBracha, and then Bereshit, one on one day and one on the next day. It's like so much. Anyway, okay. So I want to go over the word, I guess, Bereshit, or what it means. And I guess some of our sages have brought this idea to us. Time. It is very important to us. It is a gift. It comes and goes. There's no. It's like you can't get any more of it. It's always running out, right? So, Rabbi, from this Torah portion, we learn that God created time, right? As Rabbi Sadia Gaon taught us, that Bereshit mark the start of everything, and that is where we get the idea of God creating time. The Maharal of Prague illuminates this further. He teaches that it is the most fundamental thing. If we don't have time, we don't have creation. We don't have growth. We don't have anything else that happens because of time. So if we didn't have time, these things could not. There's no change. There's nothing that happens. And then the Rambam adds a little more. He said Bereshit implies that there's a purpose to everything. And time was created with a divine purpose, a divine intention. So our Talmud in Pirkei Avot, it teaches us that it asks the question. It says, "Who is wise?" And then it answers it, "One who understands what time is." And we might wonder, so what does it truly mean to understand time? The Vilna Gaon expands on this idea, saying that true wisdom lies not just in knowing what time is, but in recognizing the unique spiritual potential of each moment. So, and you might know what time is, but the Vilna Gaon is saying that you don't really know what it is unless you're recognizing that each moment has its purpose, has its spiritual connection, right? And we have, each hour, each minute, holds infinite possibilities. So, our Master Yeshua kind of gave us a little a hint. He talked a little bit, not necessarily specifically about time, but he gave us this quote to dwell upon. He said, "Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to your life?" So essentially he's saying, make use of your time, be wise with your time, right? And Hashem also, gave us opportunities like Shabbat to delineate between different times of the day, times of the month, times of the years, And so time is very important, obviously. So then the Literary, he connected this idea. He said, when the Jewish people were still in Egypt, the first commandment that Hashem gave to them was the Kiddush HaKodesh, which is the sanctifying of the new moon, because they need to know when Pesach was going to start. But before they did that, they were supposed to know when the new moons came along, and we were supposed to sanctify them. That was the first commandment that was given to the Jewish people in Egypt. And so you might think, well, that's, if you think about it, the first commandment that Hashem gave to us was centered around time. It was like, what do we do with our time, and how to even calculate time, And so that's not just by coincidence, but it's because time is a divine creation, and it's waiting for us to elevate it through our deeds. So, we have this time, and then now we need to use it properly. We need to elevate it properly. Another interesting thing about time, or about how we can use our time, or about how we can do mitzvot, is the Baal Shem Tov. He taught that instead of performing 2 different mitzvot on the same day, if you have the opportunity to spread them out and to do them on 2 different days, it is better. And it's better because you're using those time periods. You're elevating the 2 days instead of just elevating only 1 day. So you're allowing your mitzvot to spread out over more time. And I like to add that it also gets you thinking. It gets you thinking about doing mitzvot more often. If you do it only on 1 day of the week, say you only do all your mitzvot all on Shabbat, and then the rest of the week you're not worrying about it, then you're not really thinking about the mitzvot. But if you do something every day, you're thinking about it. And when you're not you're doing the mitzvot, say it's like giving tzedakah or something is very simple, and it takes like a minute or 2 minutes or something, very short, maybe not even that. But the thought of it, the idea of it, is in your mind much longer than just that 1 minute that you're dropping that money into the box. You're thinking about it maybe beforehand, thinking about how much money you're going to give. You're thinking afterhand about how good you feel because you gave some tzedakah, And so it just that maybe spreading it out makes you think about it a lot more than if you just did it all in 1 day. And some of our other sages teach that if you have tzedakah to give, say you have $6 to give, that you should spread it out and give only $1 a day, and so that you're getting used to giving tzedakah, every day, and also you're dwelling upon it and thinking about it, and it becomes a part of you. Just like I was teaching last week how the mitzvot can become easy for us if it becomes our nature. Well, some of the ways that we can make it our nature is by doing it often, by spreading it out over time, like the Lubavitcher Rebbe teaches us, to spread all of our mitzvot over time, and so you're constantly doing mitzvot and constantly thinking about it, and it just becomes second nature. You don't even think about it; you just do it. So here's a practical example of how we can, do spread out our mitzvot, right? Instead of rushing to complete multiple acts of kindness in 1 day. So say you wanted to be kind and nice to everybody, and maybe visit a sick friend, and then help a neighbor with their groceries or something, or even help your mom with their groceries, that kind of thing. Instead of doing it all at one time, you spread it out. You go visit your sick friend one day, and then the next day you help your mom with the groceries, or help your friend with the groceries. This is just an example, right? There's many things you could do. So if we do that, we're spreading out, not only our mitzvahs and getting it used to being part of us, but we're also elevating all those moments in time throughout the week, throughout the day, throughout the week. You're elevating them up to a higher level towards Hashem. Now, some may say, "Well, are you being wise with your time?" Right? Giving that tzedakah at one time, you're using that time. You only have 10 minutes. You have to go give tzedakah, and you're just going to give it all at one time. You don't have, all that time throughout the week. But I would say that's still, you may think you're being more wise with your time by doing it all at once, but I feel like you're not, because you're not being, I guess, you're not allowing yourself to have that idea throughout the week, instead of just doing it all at once. So there's a give and take. Maybe if you are doing mitzvot so often that you just need to do such and such mitzvot at what time and get it done because you have so many others to do, and that's a different story, right? Then you are using your time wisely. So and yeah, so we want to make it part of our nature, right? We want to do mitzvot to make it part of our nature. And then also, we have, some people might say to you, or if some secular people might say to you, you're wasting your time every Shabbat you're resting a whole day instead of using it. You could be making money or doing something else, but you're like, you're wasting that day, every week. But we all know that we're not, right? The Shabbat is keeping Shabbat is so much more healthy, better for us, better for our well-being, and better for our families, and better for everything that we care about. And so, obviously, we're not wasting our time. We're still being wise with our team, wise with our time by keeping Shabbat, by keeping the Torah, the holy days, and all these other things, right? And just want to end it with this idea that Rabbi Nachman of Breslov reminds us. He tells us that time is your life, and to guard it well. So each moment we have times to elevate, a time to elevate time, and guard it well, use it well, be wise with it, and know that our time is a precious gift from our Creator, and and use it. That's my short of George. So who's next? Safa? Ezra's next?